right, how we doing, devils? Sam here with you. It's Friday, the 25th of October. Oh my God, look at Bitcoin. So here we have, this is a weekly chart, right? We looked at this a couple weeks ago. Now, I'd like to think every member, every Twitter follower, YouTube subscriber, that this is just redundant. You've already done this. I'd like to think. So there you go, right? So just, I mean, it's funny. Sometimes you think like, oh, okay, I know that's where there's likely to be some support. I know that's where we should probably find some resistance, but you find yourself thinking, yeah, but it's going to be different this time. That should surprise zero people. I mean, if you follow me, or if you're a member, or if you've watched any YouTube videos I've done before, there should be zero surprise there. I mean, that's where we were expecting it. And that's not. I don't say that with an arrogance. I say that with just experience, right? I mean, that's where you would anticipate that it would drop. So now, so this is a weekly chart. I should have mentioned that we're out here on a weekly chart. Can this? Again, I was kind of giving you a very passionate plea the other week. Like, could this be any more rudimentary? I mean, if you have, whether you're an Elliott trader or not, right? I mean, could this get any more, like, from your Elliott Wave 101, Elliott Wave for Dummies, can it get any better than that? Any simpler? Well, let's hear this. This is when I was really trying to reach you guys. All right, so let's make this point here. So what I was saying to you a couple of weeks ago, where I was kind of rather strongly encouraging you guys pay attention here, was that if we got into this zone, whether we were at the 50, whether we went down, this was your buy zone. Now, so you don't need to feel badly if you didn't buy there. I mean, we've just had a little pop to the 50. We pulled back just a notch. You're still right there. Well, it'd probably be different this time. No, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for that pullback to go a little bit lower here. I'd much prefer to buy it around 5,000. And maybe I'll add again at 3,000. So you look at that and you think, God damn, man, that's right. It's not. That wasn't. So here, this was on News BTC. This is a good, decent site. Many of you probably saw this. Members, I'm sure. And we had talked about this a little bit before. When the bot launch went down, it was a very slow start, and the kind of thinking was, well, now, if you're an institutional investor, let's just say you're a whale or institutional money, or someone who's got some money to move around. When the market's retracing, just looking for an opportunity to buy between the 50 and the 618, wouldn't that be what you'd prefer? And particularly if you had the muscle to be able to push the market down. Or just wait until week longs just finally said, I can't take it anymore, and bail. And then they run through crypto Twitter and they see people saying, well, 5,600, 6,000, that's likely to come. This is kind of an interesting thought, right? So look at the volume as we sold off yesterday, and whether it was Zuckerberg or what, look at the BOCT volume yesterday. 5x increase during the drop. So you come back here and you go, well, if you're an institutional investor and you're waiting for a pullback, don't you want to wait to buy it on sale if you can? All right, so not too late, right? Not too late. What else do we have here? All right, drew this up a couple of weeks ago when I was dropping F-bombs at you guys left and right, saying now, 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 now. And some of you saw the market drop down. You said, yeah, I knew I was right. I was right to wait. Well, did you chase today? Again, you're still not out of it. You're still right there. Okay, so now we don't know for sure this is coming, but if we're going to have a true, which is, again, as I often say, if you're in this space, right? I mean, what are you waiting for, right? I mean, I'm just lining this up. That's just rudimentary technical analysis I can probably offer to you. I mean, that is just drop dead simple. But you got to get out here to the weekly. Yeah, I like that. I like that, 15-minute, like all the action down there. Well, again, we don't know for sure that the low is in. I'm not saying that, for sure we can now confirm the low is in. We're not quite there yet, but certainly that's what you would have hoped to see there. So there you go, right? So if you can buy it here, at this point, if you can buy it under 8,500, stop the video right now and go buy some Bitcoin. That would be my advice, right? Assuming you can afford it and you're not going to buy it on leverage, and it's not, don't use your mortgage money for it or your rent money. You got to be responsible about what you're doing here. But that cannot get any prettier. You don't. Again, it was not complicated. There you go. So that if we're going to get a true third here, right? If well, it'd be 24/7, right? You can kind of just see the whole thing. Just, oh my God, right? It's like right. But up here, 29, 30,000. Now that could be 2021 before we get there. I mean, we don't know the time. I'm just using the weekly chart here to kind of map this out. So a reasonable spot to find some some support, prior all-time high, if we get up here and get through it. Right, first challenge is going to be getting through it here. Right, shit. There'll be resistance there. We get up here. That looks pretty reasonable. Something along those lines. Come down to that support. Right, something along those lines. And just kind of put the whole thing together. How about the length of the 1? Right, now I don't have the 4, but you can just kind of lay it out this way. 100% of that. 30,600. That does not take 25 years of technical analysis experience to line that up. Let's go look at the more detailed lower time frame. So it really stands out here. Now here's the larger degree we'd been playing with the idea that per the Elliott count we had a WX and we were seeking the Y down here of the 2. Now again, we cannot, right? Well, there is a point where we can be more confident, right? We got to break this 4 pivot, and then this here, which was support for so long, which is we're here on Bitstamp. Just for round number, let's call it 9,000. You can see, right? I'd like to highlight that little low volume nugget right there because we had no market acceptance here. First, it went through it, then it came back, held. Market, that's a decision point in the market. We don't have acceptance there. So if we can get up and start pushing through this, first we got to break this wave 4 pivot. Now you start to feel better about that as our low. Now we break this. Now we should be in better shape. Now you can see here. So this is the alert I had at 72.94 on this. Look how close this was. Right, just got it. Right, and then and then note here we got the 50%. As I've shown you guys before, I've just got a measured move here turned into a trend channel, right? So into a fib channel, I should say. So here's the 50%. Tags it as we come up. That's a slight front run on the golden zone. Pretty good reaction. So if you were looking for that pop, right? So if you're buying at the 50, these are typical ranges. If the turn's at the 50, you would anticipate the first push to get to the 38. Here we've got the turn at the golden zone, and we're just bumping into the 50. So it doesn't surprise me that we stall there just a bit. And then you can kind of look at all of this. Right, here's where we've got lots of market acceptance right here. So we're going to come up and try and challenge that. So it'll be interesting to see how much we carry on here, assuming we do, over the weekend, right? So we could easily do something like this. Now, if you get the retrace, guys, right? I can't do it for you. Right, and that's not to say, right? Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying if we go up here and we get a retrace, that's a guaranteed winner, and you can start Lambo shopping. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're a trader, right, there is no trading without risk. Is this a calculated, intelligent trade to take? Well, I can kind of, bring you back here and go, okay, well, we're in that zone, but I kind of wanted to wait and see if we got a pivot there. Okay, all right, I get that, right? I can understand that. So now here we go. Just what you were waiting for. Okay, so we get the first push. Right? We don't know where the top is here. We don't know that that's done. I would love to see it break that wave 4 here. This is 88.21. Boy, I start to really feel better about that pivot down here because the wave count, if we go down to the shorter time frame, it's a little bit of a push to get that 5 to play. A little bit. It's a little ugly, but right at this point, given this reaction, if we get a retrace where you can put well, actually, I'd put the stop under the 65. You start to get up like this, we get a motive coming out of here, it's game on, guys. Right. I mean, like literally, like you can't. I can't script this shit, right? It's just, right? So it's nothing I did, right? It's just observation. Where would you anticipate, given what happened at this golden zone, wasn't that the most obvious possible place you could have anticipated that we'd see that reaction? Right? So again, it's not rocket science. It's gonna be a short one today. So what do we got over here? This is back to our Renko bars. We looked about this. So now you can go to the hourly here, and this really, oh man, the 60, yeah. So here's Coinbase, the hourly. We've got, so we crossed early. We're just getting the cross here, the OBV. I went to the 2 hour, just kind of looking at that. So we just had, you can see here, we're just getting the cross here. We've just gone green. So this is green. This is a CCI coded OBV. So we're crossed the moving average. We've got the green here. So you're getting buyers coming into the market here. We've had the cross here of the MACD. We've had the cross of the 2 shorter terms. We're far enough from the low is far enough. Now you're going to run into some resistance here, right? If you were trading this kind of thing. So every one of these pivots will be resistance, all of them. All right, got to wick those off. So you're going to have a big wave right here as this comes up. Right now, you're long and strong, stops under the last fractal. So we can kind of look at that and go, all right, well, swing high to swing low. That's going to be stiff. And we got a double top up here. So looking at that, well, let's do one at a time. Okay, look where these pivots are. All right, so wouldn't that be just that? Again, that's kind of where you're expecting to bump into that resistance, which would set that up. Right, there you go. It's not, again, we can't, it's not time to like celebrate the lows in, but we have all of the conditions that would support the idea that that's the low. Doesn't mean we can guarantee it, but certainly if you're a trader, knowing that there's no risk-free trading, at some point you got to put money at risk and take a calculated risk, and now would be that time. Certainly in Bitcoin. Now we got the rest of cryptos all popping today. Now what is it? Why? What is it? Right? Is it that we hit the golden zone? Is it that we've got new all-time highs in the stock indexes? Or is it just algorithms kicking in, doing what they're written to do? So kind of back to what I was saying before, a couple weekends ago. Do you care? Why? I mean, it's good to understand it. It's good to understand. So it's good to get that confirmation in your mind's eye. Okay, I can see technically what happened here. Okay, I can understand, oh, this makes sense, right? If I was a whale, that's what I would have done, right? Look at that volume. There's your tell right there, right? See, wouldn't if you were this guy, if you're that team of people or investors or institutions, you wait for it to be put on sale. Okay, sale's on. What are you going to do? All right, guys. Going to be interesting to watch. Have a good weekend.